Yo guys, this is Retro. This is a quick video on how to get stronger and what to do, pretty much the best way to progress in the new cyber world. It's going to be kind of like my old videos, like the how to get stronger on the moon and how to get stronger on Earth, like the from noob to pro video. So, but just the process for the cyber world and pretty much what's going to be happening for a while, because it looks like this world's going to be lasting for a while, because it's going to be like 1-1-1-1-1-1, right? Like there's going to be a lot of eggs here. We're going to be in this world for probably a little while. So let's get right into it. First things first, first step of your process is going to be just starting with obviously AFK and coins. But let's say you have some coins, now you're watching this video. What should I do with those coins? What you're going to want to do is, and just like my old videos, if you remember them, if you watched them before, is going to be opening the cheapest egg you can and upgrading whatever your strongest nuke is. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna open like 5 million coins here, and we're just gonna see what we get. Whoops, I do not have that on, so let's turn that on. And it's wait a couple seconds here just for it to spend 5 million coins, because 5 million coins is probably reasonable for someone who isn't as strong as me, right? So yeah, I spent like 5 million, something like that, maybe a little more. But here it is. This is everything I just got from that. Now, this is the next step to the new world, and it's going to be important because this is actually what you're going to pretty much try to do for every single new egg that comes out. Is you're going to try to make your new strongest nuke, because your new strongest nuke is what's going to upgrade the fastest, and it's going to also have the strongest base damage. But most importantly, like I said, it just upgrades faster. What that means is, for example, this epic pulsar looks good and this rainbow red looks weaker, right? But there are some things to remember about this, and it's actually gonna apply probably to every nuke after this. Like I said, a shiny rare is actually gonna be better than the epic of the same egg, and I'll prove that right now. For example, I'm gonna put in it looks like I said this looks weaker right now, right? And it looks like it has a weaker base damage. But if we go to, let's go to 3 million. We're at 3 million now, 1.7 mil damage. Now we're gonna go back to that pulsar. We're gonna put in 3 million into that. So let's get this up there. We're actually gonna go a little over, but 1.3 million, right? So now the two things we just upgraded, 1.7 mil, 1.3, nice like that. The shiny rare is actually stronger. So remember, this is actually pretty important. This is gonna be now my new strongest nuke. So now I'm gonna put everything I have into this from now on, if possible, and just keep it going right there. I just went up another 100k damage just from four common nukes or rare nukes, whatever. And this is gonna be upgrading faster than the other nukes you can get. Now this does continue though, because a rainbow or shiny pulsar is obviously gonna be better than a rare prototype eel. And even more than that is, I actually haven't tested it, but I'd probably say that the shiny or the rainbow prototype eel, if possible, if you can get it, a rainbow prototype eel is going to be better than a shiny pulsar. Like I said, I didn't test this, but it sounds pretty reasonable to think that. In fact, I'm probably, I'm like 90% sure it probably will be better. So that's something else to explore. Obviously, it's going to suck losing some things to upgrade, but like I said, it's all about making a new strongest nuke, and it's just going to make things way faster. So, like for example, I have these rainbow pulsars, right? And let's say eventually you get to this, and I'm not going to put these in, but let's say I put all these in. Instantly, just from 5 nukes, 2 million damage, 10 million damage, like it's just even that, like just 4 million nukes, it goes up 6 million almost damage, something like that, a little less. But now you can see what I mean by the strongest nuke, right? The strongest nuke is simply the one that upgrades the fastest, and this is just insane, right? This literally almost triples damage just because it's just what the right place to put your upgrades in. So yeah, you're gonna do this for every single update coming up after this, and that is the process. Just keep getting a new strongest nuke. Once again, you go to Rainbow Pulsar after you get a shiny prototype eel, and then after that is gonna be like the Rainbow Vault. Which if you ever get to the Rainbow Vault, I mean, look at this, 270 mil, and that is only possible because it upgrades a lot faster, right? No one has the patience to upgrade to this if it took like the same as a Rainbow Solar. Like the Rainbow Solar barely budges anymore. Like it reaches cap. Like we're going up 300k damage there, and it's like this will go up a million or 800k, right? So, and my 800k is gonna affect all these exclusives too. So yeah, it's pretty big, important point to just remember that new strongest unit, the philosophy behind that. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask in the description. To continue, now this is gonna be for stronger players, or I mean, if you can one-shot these things without your full army. So, for example, I have these three, right? And I one-shot everything here, pretty much. One shot, pretty much the same thing, right? I mean, like everything dies within like all these nukes hitting, especially with double boost. If I have double damage boost on, I mean everything is just gonna get one clicked, right? So this is actually going to be pretty important, and this goes from my old video. If you're able to get if you're able to get enough nukes that still doesn't take too long to kill things, like if I just attack this, right, it's gonna take forever, but let's pretend that that was these, right, and it just took so long to kill these. Obviously maybe you can go back to the moon world and self grid, but if you're a stronger player and you only attack, if you take off your exclusives and only attack with cracked stuff, it's pretty much the same thing as gem farming, because you're one-shotting everything with cracked. And I'm making right now, I already made 50 million gems like in the last I think like 10 hours, something like that. Maybe I could be exaggerating, maybe a little less, but the big point, if you can take off your exclusive and one-shot everything and still have cracked on it, it's actually huge, because you're gonna be able to farm gems like the process in my old video where you just use your cracked nukes to one-shot everything and just keep going, and farm your cyber coins because you still one-shot everything, right? You're still just AFKing. So yeah, remember this is actually a big tip for stronger players. You can do that. One more thing is, if you can't, if it's just you're having a tough time here, do remember that you can still, if you have the time to, like, try to look into AFKing gems here. Like they see Worms here is actually AFKing gems, which is smart, because now you can get gems to just buy your better nukes. So if you're able to skip to like even a rainbow, a rainbow vault is going to be pretty expensive, but if you can buy like a rainbow pulsar, like with 30 million, or with cracked on it, like that's 60 million damage, that could help you a lot, right? Depending on how strong you are, obviously. But like if Kai Luxury got from 40 million damage, he got a 60 million nuke, that's 100 damage. Like that's 2.5 times his damage, right? Like it's a big deal. As for further enchants on this, try to focus on your new strongest nuke. If you have the gems for it, do not waste your gems on a chance if you can't afford it. But if you do have the gems for it, just try to look for cracked. As for Super Swarm, remember Super Swarm, it's not worth it if you have too many exclusives. If you have six or more, it is seven. If you have 7 exclusives or more, it is not worth getting Super Swarm, because you might as well get cracked. Like I said, they just stack damage. So if you have 5 nukes with Super Swarm and they all have 20% damage each, you'll get 100% more damage on each nuke. But at that point, it's the same thing as cracked, but with cracked, you also get 100% more gems. If you have less than that, you could go for Super Swarms. It might be a little bit more not rare. Like, I think it might be a bit more cheaper with gems, technically, like statistically. I'm not exactly sure of that, but it's probable. But only if you have less than 7 exclusives. So if you have an entire team of regular nukes, going for Super Swarm is actually pretty strong, because you'll have 240% more damage if you can afford it with gems. Like I said, that's pretty important. And yeah, remember that. That's that. And I think that should be all. I mean, for stronger players, you also can just... I personally started selling commons. I actually have tested selling rares just to save time. I mean, you don't have to. In fact, it's probably better not to do it, because you just gotta do whatever. But it's just a time saver. Like, instead of just wait for my inventory to fill up on epics and then just upgrade those into it, it's probably better. It's gonna be a stronger upgrade, but you're probably losing a lot more coins like that could be invested just saving rares and putting them in. this just depends how strong you are, right? And just testing, balancing things. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message me and or type comments in the comment section, obviously. And make sure to join the Discord for giveaways, where I'm going to be giving away all these rainbow pulsars I have. I do these every single day, sometimes twice a day. And I also been giving away gems lately, so feel free to join that if you need a quick way to get stronger. Thank you for watching. Leave any suggestions in the comments, and yeah, see ya.